folks, today we are going to be taking down some trees with the excavator and our little Stihl 201T. They're pretty good sized trees, but really, if you're not in a big hurry, you don't need a huge saw. This saw right here and me have done a lot of tree work on these 201Ts. Of course, we got our multi-tool. This chain is just kind of flopping. I let it get a little bit too stretched. So, just as a quick rundown, this isn't going to be a chainsaw tutorial. You got on the 201T one nut here that you can back off, usually about 1/4 to 1/2 of a turn. Get my tool on here. Yeah, about a 1/2 turn. And then you got a little hole right in here at the flathead end of that multi-tool, and you twist it clockwise and it'll tighten that chain up. Now before you go, you can check it now, but until you tighten this nut, you don't know how it's going to be. Usually it'll tighten it on up just a little bit more when you tighten that nut back down. So the way that I like to test these is when you pull up about mid-bar, you want to be able to just see a little bit of daylight between the guide and the bar. You don't need it super tight. There's no point in that. Okay, now let me get my file right here under me. Now in general, these teeth are not flat. You've actually got to put your file in and angle it up just a little bit. And on each one of these teeth toward the back, there's a wear indicator. It looks like a little line scribed in to show you how far you can file these down, but also the angle that you want to use your file at. Typically, if this is really dull and it's just throwing a fine powder, I'll hit each tooth 5 licks. And you only file going away from you. You don't want to pull back because they can actually dull a file. So you just want to push, and then I just relieve pressure on that tooth and just drag it back. So just dragging it along that tooth is not necessarily going to dull the file, but if you just bear on it the whole time and you're just doing this, that's not the right way to file the teeth. Pressure on the tooth, light pressure, it doesn't take a lot, and just push it. So you want to make that thing sing. So let's get this bar sharpened up. Okay, and I also recommend wearing gloves doing this, because as you get these teeth sharp, they're going to be more likely to cut you. And also, chain break off. What I do is I find there's one link on here that's either green or yellow. If it's green, it indicates a low kickback chain. If it's yellow, like this one, that means it's more of a chisel chain, and it will really cut. All right, I go in front of that. Yellow link is right there. I go in front of it. All right, and I use my fingers to kind of help guide myself. Okay, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now you'll feel as you sharpen the tooth for the first time, like this one here, watch how rough it is. You can hear it's rough, it's not a smooth. So each time you do it, it's going to get smoother. And I would just file it until it's good and smooth, but you want to do each tooth about the same amount or you'll start getting a banana shaped cut. So the other thing too is whatever you're comfortable with. If you're wearing gloves and you really squeeze this chain, you can roll it this way, but if you don't have gloves and really just to be extra safe, you can hold your saw, roll it forward. That way if your hand slips, it's going with the teeth and they can't cut you. But if your hand slips and you drag it along those teeth this way, that thing's going to take a hunk of meat out of you really quick. So let's get this thing sharpened up. Alright guys, a couple of things. I got my chainsaw chaps on. I recommend anybody who's cutting trees to wear chaps. They can be uncomfortable if you're going into climbing trees, but they make climbers pants to have the fiber that stops the chain integrated into it. Another thing, even if you're just going a short way from where you started, take your oil and your fuel with you. You may think this is going to be a hassle to tote these along. A lot of times if I'm having to walk through the woods with them, I'll have a rope connecting the two so I can sling them over my shoulder. And as soon as you don't take them with you, you think I'm just going to need one tank of fuel in my saw, I'm not going to use that much oil, you're going to end up halfway out through the woods and run out right when you're in the middle of a back cut. So just go ahead and take them with you and save yourself the aggravation. Let's run up here, drop some trees. This one looks pretty rotten. I'm just going to push on it, see if it'll just peel out. That went well. Let's get him cleaned up. Alright guys, a little bit of a difference on this tree than the other one. The other one was just absolutely rotten and dried out. If I had not had as big of an excavator as I do, I wouldn't have just started pushing on that tree, because a lighter excavator wouldn't have the strength side to side to manipulate that tree to go right toward that burn pile spot that we wanted it to go to. When I first started pushing on that tree, just a straight push, it actually did start to turn to my left. Had I not had the power and the grip with my teeth into the tree to hold it, there's a good chance it could have spun and landed on that fence over there. It was also so rotten at the bottom and it was hollow on the inside, there's not enough holding wood that if I had notched it and back cut it, that I would have had that much more control. So I decided to stay as safe as I thought I could be and stay in the machine. Now this tree, I don't know if you guys can notice, but all the limbs are budding out. So there's some life in this tree, but the way that the horses have cribbed and chewed the bark on it, it's dying. The top of this is completely dead, and there's a good 5 to 6 foot stick at the top that is dead, bark's off of it, so it's rotten. Now there's a good chance that when I start cutting this tree and it starts to go, it's going to have to go through some limbs on this adjacent tree. So when that top catches in those limbs, it's going to snap out. So what I'm going to try to do is make me a good face cut and a decent back cut, and then I'm going to get in the machine and try to just push it on over. That way once that top snaps out, it'll fall straight down if it does, and we'll be as safe as we can be about this. Doing this kind of thing with an excavator is so much better than just notching and cutting. If I didn't have an excavator and I had an extra helper, I would probably climb this tree about 20 feet, put a rope in it, tie it to another tree and winch it over, or a truck. So let's go ahead and get this thing cut and hopefully push down. And if my gamble is right, there's a good chance you guys will see a top come out, and that's a widow maker. When that top comes out, if somebody's not ready for it, it can hit them in the head, and even with a hard hat, break their neck and kill them. So tree work is dangerous. I'm not doing this as a tutorial, but if somebody's thinking about doing this on their own, I want them to be as educated and know how to do this as safely as possible. So let's get this sucker on the ground. So I started my back cut and I started feeling it open up just a little. So now we're gonna go ahead and push on a little bit and see which way it's wanting to go. That's going quite well. Pull some fiber on this one. You guys always cut them off. Even if you're the only one cutting, you can trip over something here, fall on top of this, and you're skewered. So that'll be the first thing I'll do next when I fire back up. Everything's going good. That one tree, most of its limbs were hanging out that way. I didn't want to drop the tree on their new post holes that they've bored out. And they tell me that that fence was coming down anyway, so I kind of favored that side, and the tips of that tree raked the wire down, broke one limb. Had to step away for just a minute, but they broke that limb and then came down, and all it did was pull the wire out of the little clips. Didn't break the wire or anything, so not that it really mattered. But even if it doesn't matter if I hit something, I try to put the tree exactly where I want, and that way I just kind of stay in practice. And it's been a while since I cut some trees. It's been a lot of fun. Now I'm going to tell you something. This is not professional advice, but if you're going to be out in the woods working all day, these tuna creations by Starkist are delicious. And you eat these with some Captain's wafers, it'll keep you in energy. Or just take a big tub of peanut butter with you and eat a spoon once in a while. All day energy, guaranteed. Let's clean this mess up. because it's got so much dirt mixed in with it. We're just going to toss it across the fence here. Don't have to be perfect. So we got here about noon today. It is now 2:30. This is my last real scoop of stuff that I have to do. And that is how you make $1,000 bucks. I know some people think $1,000 is crazy, but you know, by the time you start calculating in hauling equipment out here, and we're on the opposite side of town. They know I worked here before, and they know that it's a one-day minimum. Usually this machine and myself are $12.50 a day, but right now because of this COVID stuff, I'm trying to kind of help the community out and still be able to get their jobs done. We've cut our prices by 20%, which knocks this machine and myself down to $1,000 a day. That's 8 hours. So originally, that little stump's in there. When I came to look at the work, they had 5 trees that needed to come down. The ones we just did. And I told them I could do all 5 trees in a day for $1,000. They really liked that. Well, I got done in 2.5 hours. And they asked me while I was here if I cared to pull a couple of stumps. Gee, yeah, I'll pull some stumps. Maybe for a day, I'm going to work a day. Whatever she had come to mind, tell me. I'll make it happen. I don't want their horses do some digging. Comes my little dog.
to go in behind some guys who were supposed to clear property, but all they did was push all the trees and stumps into a tangled mess that we get to clean up. So if you guys want to watch a little bit of chainsaw work, excavation, and some dump truck hauling, jam that subscribe button. We'll see you on the next one.